Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I'm your host, Rising Oblivion, and today, guys, it looks like we might have some potential leaks or rumors going around talking about Final Fantasy VII coming to PlayStation 5 and PC this year. So basically, these leaks are something that we sort of already know. We knew that Final Fantasy VII Remake eventually was going to touch PC, but eventually it was going to jump over to next gen. That's just the sort of progression of things, and after the one-year exclusivity deal that Final Fantasy VII has on PlayStation, it now can jump over to PC because of that one-year exclusivity deal finally being done. It's something we're probably going to see for quite a while. It looks like Final Fantasy 16 is also locked into that as well. But this one-year contract is coming up, so Final Fantasy VII Remake is able to jump to something like PC. It's just really a matter of how soon is it going to be coming and how reputable are these leaks. So they are relatively reputable and are from sources that we can kind of depend on. However, this is not Square Enix officially themselves announcing that it is coming to PC or PlayStation 5. We figure it will, and from these leaks and these sources, it is a pretty good hint that it's going to be coming very soon, sooner than we actually think it's going to be coming. So Navtra commented on Reset Era that Square Enix plans to announce Final Fantasy VII Remake for the PlayStation 5, but alongside this they have the much rumored PC edition of the game that's more than likely going to be coming alongside the PlayStation 5 edition. So soon after the PlayStation 5 edition, or during the actual reveal of the PlayStation 5 version of Final Fantasy VII Remake, we more than likely are going to be getting the PC port or the PC version being brought alongside this as well, which is pretty exciting news considering how we had just seen that they had just leaked the patents that they had planned to use for certain games. This could be something where we might see a PC port or something like that being brought to PlayStation 5 and PC. They might do a big announcement where they announce this stuff coming to different consoles and coming to different places for Final Fantasy VII Remastered, but at the same time Square Enix also announcing that they're going to have some potential spin-off games or some potential DLC down the road. I could see them easily doing this. It's better to allow people to be playing the game on PC and have the more updated version on the PS5, and alongside that be announcing their DLC like First Soldier or Ever Crisis or something like that, and allow them to be able to buy the DLC on multiple different platforms. And this is actually pretty good. For the jump from the PS4 to the PS5, or if you have a PS4 Pro or whatever, jumping from that console to the PlayStation 5, we will see an improvements update. We should see higher frame rates if they are going to allow that to be something that is going to, go. I don't imagine them locking the game down for the PlayStation 5. It should be able to run better and kind of have 4K if you have, if you have a 4K monitor or something like that, which is really nice. But here is the problem. Do we get a free version of the Final Fantasy Remake on the PlayStation 5 if we already own the remake on the PS4? That's the question, really. It's not like this game is just coming out on, during the release date of the PlayStation 5. It was technically the beginning of the year whenever it released next to the PlayStation 5, which is towards the end of the year. They might be expecting people to completely re-buy this game again, which kind of sucks at the end of the day, but more than likely this game is already backwards compatible, so why would you really need to buy it on the PS5? I can see that, but the PC is a much different story. Not only, you're going to have like the frame rates of the PlayStation 5, you're going to have the textures, you have an SSD with the PlayStation 5. At least you have that. You have better loading speeds, and if you get a PS5 version of Final Fantasy Remake, you're more than likely going to see better textures. It's going to look a little bit better, and you can at least put it onto a 4K monitor. It might not be true native 4K because the game's not rendered in 4K, but it's still going to end up looking at least a bit better, if anything. But if you jump over to PC, we're getting now mod access. We're going to be getting, potential better fast travel mods, which would be really good for the game. Hopefully it comes to Steam. We have a lot of the different other Final Fantasy games already on Steam, so it would make sense for Final Fantasy Remake to be jumping to Steam, but who knows, they might end up striking a deal with the Epic Games. I really hope that's not something that ends up happening, because I can see a lot of people being upset about that, me included. Don't get me wrong, I do not want to see it jump to that as well, because I hate spreading my games thin through all of these different ways of buying it. But we could see this game coming to PC and not only just running better, loading better, but it's going to have a much higher frame rate. Hopefully they don't do a Persona 5 Strikers and cap it at 60 FPS, that would be really dumb, but we could see some unlocked frame rates on Final Fantasy VII Remaster, which is something that we really need. And if you've ever looked really closely at things on Final Fantasy VII Remake, you can kind of see that not all of the textures look the best. Like if you look at the door, the infamous door at the start of this game, I mean, my god, it looks so bad. The PlayStation 5 definitely can handle this a little bit better, and having an SSD, because sometimes when you walk into a brand new location, it's low-res versions first, then it loads in the new versions, which is how it's supposed to work like that, because it's not loading everything at the highest resolution in front of you. It has to take some time and then load in the better versions over a little while. But what we could be seeing on PC with higher RAM, better refresh rates, higher frame rates, a better load time, just in general, we could be seeing this game finally being ran at the most beautiful textures during the entire playthrough, not having to see the really low polygon, like Borderlands looking graphics right before it actually loads in the real graphics of the game. We could be seeing this being ran at such a beautiful like 4K 120 frames per second, especially a game that has a lot of flashy combat that is moving very fast. Having this game at 120 frames is going to look really good, or potentially even more. It depends on what kind of PC you got, you know. If you're out there running those 3090s on your freaking, you know, honking computer that's got 32 gigs of RAM, man, you could be flying with Final Fantasy Remaster. That's going to be nothing compared to what like a PS4 could do. Now, I feel really bad for people who play this on a base PS4, because even on the PS4 Pro, I gotta say, even then, there's not a lot of textures that are loaded in right away. It takes some time. The infamous door, I still don't even know why that's not patched yet. The door looks absolutely disgusting. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. If you know, man, you know. But this game could look so much better, at least on a PS5, but if not on PC, look even more amazing. And I would expect to have Square Enix announce a lot of different things this year. If they're going to have this come out, they might tie some other things into it, like I said, like the First Soldier patent. That might be something for a potential spin-off, a potential DLC. They could even have this game released on PC or PlayStation 5 alongside the DLC that's coming out. Maybe the PC version will even consider like bundling this together with it on PC. Who really knows, guys? But I really look forward to having this. It's too bad that I bought Final Fantasy VII Remake on PS4 right away. I got it on a really good deal, but I didn't think it'd be jumping so soon. I think we sort of knew it was going to be 2021, but it's going to be a lot earlier than what we really think, guys. I think with these different leaks, they are pretty reputable. Like I said, though, don't take it for heart. Don't kill me in the comments. This isn't confirmed by Square Enix, but it is a pretty decently good source. We'll have to keep our eyes peeled. I will always keep you informed on everything about this, so subscribe to the channel if you always want to be kept up to date with everything about this. Click the bell if you want to be notified right away when a new video comes out. I'll keep you guys up to date on everything Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy Remaster, the DLCs that might be happening, the potential new games. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching.